bit icy.
I see that. It's sparkly down there. The cat water bowl had not a hard layer of ice, but it had ice on the top of it. I had to break it.
Sure. Makes sense.
Don's headed for a conference call at 9, so we're moving a little bit fast this morning, a little fast. And I'm headed to the vet with hopefully gray and or slate. Today's the day. Stripe had a big yawn a minute ago and I saw his breath. That's how cold. Good morning, buddy. Did you do okay without Morris last night? He came from the tarp area where his heating pad and doghouse is, so I think he's being smart about where he's sleeping at night and going where it's warm. Of course, he won't let me walk up the hill. He's under between my legs. Hey, bud. It's always very stressful for me and very stressful for them, but Gray and Slate are loaded up and ready to go get their yearly shots. We're on time, and the worst part's over. I hung my absolutely adorable snow cat flag yesterday. Hi, girls. There's Gray going in for her appointment. The nice vet tech already took Slate in. They are not happy campers. They're both very vocal. It'll be over and you'll be back home in just a few minutes, girls. Besides the fact that getting a rabies shot every year is state law, you know, it's safer for me and safer for them. So they're also getting the feline leukemia, distemper, all the shots they're eligible for. So I'm not expecting any issues. They both seem healthy, sturdy, their coat's good, they look good. So it should be over pretty quick. I have 3 bars LTE, but I can't do anything on my phone right now. I don't know what's going on. Something's wrong with Sprint, so solitaire it is. I really wanted to look at Facebook, play Pokemon, and do a couple other things. It's just not happening right now. Well, apparently there are no moves left. That's a real bummer. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Meant to do that. Game. New game. The vet came out to talk to me. I don't like this whole timer thing. That's not fair. When you're done doing what you're supposed to do, but you don't want to leave yet because you're not done with your game. Everything with Gray and Slate is good to go. You know, I think our vet's doing a great job of keeping themselves well and open during this COVID time. You know, even if I was allowed inside with Gray and Slate, they'd still be 100% upset. And then sometimes I just sit in a little room and they take them to the back and handle them. You know, there's really not a lot of value add to me going inside. And the vet, she comes out to the parking lot and you can ask her questions. It's not like I'm not getting to talk to her. So I'm happy to be able to safely take them for what they need. And I think it's working just fine. So it saves me from having to carry the heavy crates inside myself, because the young vet techs, they come out and handle the crates. So that's good too with my back. And they got flea and tick treatment and dewormer on top of the shot. So they're probably, like I said, they're just not going to be very happy with me here for a couple of days. I miss Gray when she doesn't want to come and snuggle up against me in the morning, but she'll get it takes her a few days, but she will get over it again. So yeah, I wanted to give you guys an update on some slightly troubling information, and I guess the sun is not good in that direction right now, but you'll see that I'm in the Guardian Angel parking lot. Here, let's turn and face the Guardian Angel truck while I talk about them. A long time ago, this shopping center here, Fuquay Arena Shopping Center, was the original Harris Teeter in town. And when Harris Teeter moved closer to Sheetz on Main Street, Guardian Angel moved into their old building. And they've been here, it's, you know, like, it's over 15 years. My kids were babies when I was coming here. But recently, High House Capital has bought the shopping center. Yeah, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, I think that's valid. They want to make it fit in more with the local community and do and make use of this valuable piece of property and work with the tenants to do stuff. That has me a bit worried. I haven't heard anything about GA closing, having to move, being in trouble. Hopefully whatever's going on will happen slowly. If they have to relocate someplace in town, that's not a huge deal to me, right? I'll just go wherever they are. Several of the ladies of Fuquay Varina in the Facebook group have suggested they now move to the old vacant Harris Teeter, which is, you know, it's less than a mile the other side of Starbucks up towards Sheetz. And because, of course, Harris Teeter now has moved out of that location and they're in the old Kroger location. So Harris Teeter's been in 3 spots in Fuquay in 20 years. So if they were to move up to that old Harris Teeter building, it's a little bigger, it's a little nicer. It has this huge tall ceiling that they really don't need to heat and air condition, but maybe it would be okay. Maybe it's more efficient equipment, or I don't know, or they could lower the ceiling so they don't have that wasted space up there. But anyway, I suppose they're saying that's a possibility, but that's pure speculation as to where's there a big enough building in town that they could go lease and move to if they were being forced out of this location. I've complained a few times lately about the progress and construction around town, and I guess today is another complaint. I don't want Guardian Angel to move. I don't think this shopping center needs to be spruced up. Okay, that was great. Sneezing in the middle of talking. I think that this shopping center is fine. So I guess time will tell. They have knocked down the little house that was behind Guardian Angel. There were actually people living there last I knew. I assume they've been bought out. And there's a new subdivision going in behind Guardian Angel. It's sort of, there's a road like, I don't know, within walking distance, just the other side of the drugstore and the restaurant in this direction, that leads back to the area under construction. And so I'm not sure there'll be access to it from behind this shopping center, but it's so close to the shopping center that you can see it. So that subdivision is gonna back up to the back side of the shopping center. I don't know if that's the same property management business group or not. I don't know. And I really didn't quite realize about this until, again, this post. Because there's so much, you know, if you got 2 or 3 things going on in town, you can kind of keep up with it all. But I've been out to the page of stuff under construction for Fuquay, and it is long and lengthy and requires some real thought to understand where all that stuff is happening. So anyway, more progress. Yeah, the Guardian Angel van is pretty much a truck. They're not accepting donations today. They've changed the days of the week. The days of the week are, I'm looking at a sign to my left, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. I do have a donation, so maybe I'll drive the van over tomorrow. But you can see the little house is gone. And they've got the area with this orange little plastic fence. And it'd be interesting to see what this ends up looking like. I mean, that house was way too close to the back of the store, if you ask me anyway. So if the people that lived in that house received a fair amount of money for their property and it gives them a chance to move to a better location, that's probably a good thing. So you can see here all the trees going down. Let me roll down the window. Yeah. So they're serious about a subdivision back here, huh? Wow. That is unexpected and kind of crazy. I don't think the forest over here, you know, you couldn't really appreciate it behind the shopping center. The forest on Judd Parkway disappearing kind of upsets me. This, not quite as much. Well, that's nice over here. They have filled in some of the holes with gravel. I'm just taking it slow. So I don't know if Michelle and I are going to meet tomorrow or not. I'm not going to be able to meet her today because of the vet appointment and robotics. And I also was considering not meeting this week because of COVID, because the case count is so high. But on the other hand, I need guardian angel. I really don't want them to go under. And if people like me stop coming, and she's already had to close 2 days a week because she doesn't have enough staff because of COVID, that's not good for the business. So hopefully they're trying to hold on with things maybe getting back to normal later this year because of the vaccine. We'll see. Time will tell if that's actually gonna do what we hope it will, right? I'm hopeful. I want to be hopeful. I did not open the gate. The gate was open, but these chairs were outside the gate, so I grabbed them. These are fine for over at the carport or up on the hill with the cats. It's actually plastic and not real wicker. I agree that those chairs probably were a little past sellability at Guardian Angel, but for being out in the weather in our workshop area, they're fine. Plus, the cats won't complain about sitting on them even if Johnny and I don't. Here's a better look at the chairs. You'll see that I did put a couple of blankets down. Any other time I would have been able to put them in the back, but of course, since I had the 2 cats back here, that wasn't happening. They're so mad at me. I'm so upset. I don't like to make them mad at me. Hi, you're home. You're home. Hi. Johnny does have Taekwondo, but not until 7 o'clock tonight, so I don't think I'll be going out with Ruby again until late afternoon at the earliest, so I'm going to pull her in. Great. Actually, let me pet her. I'm in shock, and I'm very pleased. You can see I took down these 2 inflatables yesterday. They're dried in the box. I'm going to bring in the 2 gingerbread people now, put them on Don's workbench where I had the other ones that dried last night, and hopefully they'll be dry pretty quick, and then I can bring in the hot cocoa guy. It's just, however many you have room to dry at one time. You want to dry them in a sort of an inside location, 12 to 24 hours depending on how wet they are. I always wipe them down with a wet washcloth. You can sort of see the gingerbread girl has a little bit of mud on her face, so I definitely need to wipe her down. When they're totally dry, box them up. It's helpful if you put them on their side, and if a little puddle forms underneath them because there's water inside, and that does happen sometimes, move them to a new spot, wipe up the water. Them sitting there in the water will just take that much longer to dry properly, but don't ever pack them wet. And don't force the air out of them when you go to put them in the box. Unzip the zipper. Start from the top or the farthest away from the zipper, because the zipper is always on the bottom. And gently roll toward the bottom and let the air escape through the large hole where the zipper is. If you force the air out through the seams, you're going to make the holes where the stitching is bigger, and they will not inflate properly sooner than later, because I think you can get 5 years out of most of these guys if you're careful with them. But if you force air through the holes, they're not going to hold the air as well, and they won't stay inflated good. Not such a big deal with the small guys, but like this hot cocoa party would be a big deal. By the way, that is not the official WeatherTech mat, although it is one that is fit for a Tesla Model X. It was really inexpensive on eBay, and we just throw it in Ruby if we're actually going to carry something dirty. I'm just back from walking the driveway in the cul-de-sac and blowing. If we're going to have some snow come down, I want it to be pretty and not on top of a bunch of leaf debris. Don just hadn't had a chance to do it for a few days after his run because no daylight. I'm sure when he came back he would do it, but it's pretty much dark by the time he's been getting back. You see these guys on their side, towel underneath to collect water, fan on the bottom, which for the pink girl was pretty wet. The other guy, the boy gingerbread, not so much. I'm sure they're already drying pretty good with that fan on them. Yeah, big difference, world of difference. And then the cocoa guy is over here drying. It's actually hollow up underneath there and wasn't very wet or muddy or dirty or anything, so I think he'll dry pretty quick too. And I forgot to charge Ruby last night. Dawn and I told ourselves we were going to charge her. She's down to like 80 miles. And I think in a half an hour at 1 p.m. we're on off-peak. So I may go ahead and kick off charging. That's why I plugged her in. Not that I plan to go anywhere, but I want to make sure I don't forget tonight for sure to charge her. So might as well charge her sooner than later. Good night, garage.
Okay.
I feel like I've gotten my exercise, which is good. It feels good. It's not too bad out here right now. I've got about 90 minutes before robotics. So I'm going to go put my head into that for a little bit and make sure I'm prepared. Don's still on his conference call, so if he's still back there chatting, I think I'll take robotics in the garage today. Oops, the inflatables are kind of in the way, but I could move them easily. So I didn't know how we were going to get Morris back to his normal spot. It's best to release them where you catch them so they're not confused. That's a large dog crate and it's heavy.
Yeah.
Don came up with the broom handle. Yep. And it allowed me on one end and him on the other, and we got it down the stairs and everything. It wasn't light, but we've been having trouble with it. Yep. And I'm very pleased now. Yep. That we're going to release him up here with Stripe. Stripe is behind me. He's waiting on his friend. He's not too sure about Don. Don's going to open it up. Hi, Boris. You're right where you belong, and your buddy is here, and you've got food. Hi. Hello. Hello. Don's just making it so the door doesn't shut on you. Trying anyway. There you go. Come on, buddy. You can come on out. Hi, Morris. Hi, Morris. Come on, buddy. Yeah, he was fed in there and had the bed and had the litter box and stuff, but it was a little bit of a disaster. As far as it's a mess upstairs, there's litter everywhere. I sort of knew that that was what it was going to be, but nothing the shop vac won't handle. Morris, hey bud. Hi, hello. Aren't you ready to come out? I'll sit. Hi. Maybe I should get Stripe to come over? He's actually shivering, afraid. Poor guy. Stripey! Stripe! Come on. Come here, Stripe. Come here. Morris is here. Come on. Stripe. Meow. Morris? Slate came around to the side of the fence and startled Stripe. When Stripe got startled, Morris got startled. I can see him. He ran to just underneath the other side of the fence. This is his normal stomping grounds. I see Stripe sort of going over to check him out. So I think him running up there behind the fence where he lives and goes often is best outcome. He didn't take off in a wild direction where he doesn't know where he is or anything. There goes Don on his run. Looks like he just got his podcast going. He's putting his gloves on. He's got just enough time to do his 3 miles before he has another conference call. And I am close to getting on with the kids at Robotics. Hey Panther, is your heating pad still on? I look a couple times a day just to make sure. Hey bud. Hi, hello. Robotics went well today. We went over the videos of some of key sumo bot matches, looking at what wins and what loses, and then we reviewed the sample code again, and we didn't quite get into too much about what would make the code better, but a little bit. And that was an hour. And then I was on for 40 minutes with 2 of the students who are actually have a robot and are working on a sumo bot and their code. And one of them got the line follower program to work with the color sensor. So it was a good day for robotics. It was good. I guess attendance has dwindled a little bit. It's probably hard for some of the boys when they can't touch the robot. And also maybe because I gave homework. But that's okay. The ones that are there are in it to win it, and I like it. We have a Triangle Tesla meetup tonight. You know, we're still doing a WebEx every other week, every other Thursday night. So I think we're gonna dial in for that a bit. Johnny has Taekwondo and we have to hold dinner anyway, so kind of makes sense to do that. Johnny said he saw Morris up the hill since I've let him go. Just kind of sitting up there. So that's good to know. Stripe is currently in the doghouse on the heating pad, and I have a feeling Morris might be in there too, but if I go close to confirm it, Morris is likely to run. Slade's pretty mad and she hasn't been back home, but I just hollered and hollered and hollered for her, and I could see her up at the top of the hill near where Stripe hangs out. So I know she's okay, and I came back in the house because I want her to make a good decision about coming home and sleeping with Tux and Gray and not feeling she needs to stay up the hill. I don't think she will, because she's the first cat to go in the garage when it's cold. And yeah, that's about where our afternoon has been. Don got back from his run. He's had his calls, and we're just gonna watch the radar and see if we get some snow. I had some sand blue tiles show up, which are for the floor of the mineral shop, and I'm going to spend a few minutes and put them in.